space. We don't rush, we don't force, and we simply explore together. And in the corner, you will see the name Xuemo, Xuemo, the author whose works we are reading and sharing. All the insights we talk about here come from Xuemo's books and his lifelong reflection on human nature and inner cultivation. So today, let's gently move into a very important topic, something that shapes the direction of an entire life. And the best kind of construction is the building of virtue. It is the process of establishing one's own moral foundation as a human being. And for an organization, this also refers to the moral foundation of the enterprise itself. So when you use virtue as your foundation, it naturally allows you to hold a greater vision. If a person does not have a great vision, they will gradually lose the motivation to move upward. So having a great vision is not optional. It is something deeply important in one's life. It determines not only the quality and height of your life, but also its breadth and depth. And this is something very interesting to reflect on because many people think motivation comes from pressure or from external goals, but here the idea is different. It says our direction comes from your inner vision, not from what the world demands of you. When your vision is unclear, life feels scattered. And when your vision becomes clear, everything starts to align. Wow, this looks better. So if you haven't yet found a clear direction in your life, you should keep asking yourself from time to time, especially in those quiet moments when nothing is happening. Pause and ask yourself, what is it that I truly want to do in this lifetime? And more honestly, what is something that if I do not do it, I would feel that my life has been incomplete? And this question is not meant to create pressure, it is meant to bring clarity. Because sometimes the reason we feel tired is not because we are doing too much, but because we are doing things without direction. And when direction is missing, even effort feels heavy. But when direction is present, even difficulty becomes meaningful. So today the live session is we are what we are talking is like an invitation to look inward and to listen more carefully and to rediscover what truly matters in your life. So we'll go a little deeper into the idea of great vision. There is something very important to be aware of. Your great vision should not be about satisfying your personal desires. It should not even be something that exists only for yourself. It must be a kind of spiritual pursuit, even if it may rely on material conditions to be realized. But the ultimate purpose cannot be material. And this point is very subtle because in our daily life, many things we do seem to be connected with material success. We work, we earn, we build, and we accumulate. But the question is not whether you use material means. The real question is what is your direction behind all of this? If your vision is based on gaining material things, then the moment you obtain them, you may also lose your direction at the same time. The same is true if your vision is centered on money, because once money becomes the goal, it replaces something deeper. And here is something, another reality that material things cannot truly be held on to. Even if no one takes them away from you, they may still disappear on their own, and they are impermanent. Time changes, conditions change, and what you once had may no longer remain. So things like this cannot be the foundation of your life direction. They are too unstable. If you build your entire life upon the material things, then everything you pursue may collapse in an instant. And when that happens, all your effort throughout your life may feel like nothing more than a passing illusion. And if we pause here for a moment, this is not meant to create fear. It is meant to bring clarity again. Because many people are not lacking effort, they are lacking direction. And more precisely, they are lacking a direction that is not easily shaken. So, what kind of vision does not collapse? What kind of direction can stay even when everything outside is changing? This is where the idea of spiritual pursuit becomes important because what is inward is much more stable than what is outside. And when your vision comes from that place, your action in the world may look the same, but your inner state is completely different. And you are no longer chasing, you are expressing. You are not trying to fill a lack, you are simply living out something that already exists within you. And from here, we can slowly explore a deeper question. If vision should not be based on desire and cannot be based on material gain, then how do we actually discover it? And how do we know whether our current direction is coming from something deeper or just from temporary wants? Hi, hi, Michael. Welcome to our channel. Hi, Anthony. Hi, Buffy. I see many new friends here. Welcome to Xuemo community. So if you are just joining us, we are exploring a very deep idea about the vision and the long-term success. So take your time. You can just listen for a moment and see how it feels. And for those who just arrived, please subscribe our channel. We are mainly about inner growth, inner peace, spirituality, and traditional wisdom. So please subscribe our channel, and thank you for your support. Thank you so much. Hi, Francos and Michael. Hi, Harry. Hi, welcome. So we are talking about the true great vision. The true great vision must be established for the benefit of more people. Only this kind of vision cannot be taken away by others, and it will not disappear on its own. It becomes a kind of an achievement that can remain forever. And this shifts the whole perspective. Because now the question is no longer what do I want, but what can I contribute? So when your vision includes others, it naturally becomes larger than yourself. Actually, we don't know exactly when Lao Tzu passed away, but what he left behind in the message, sorry, within the 道德经 Tao Te Ching. And since that message appeared, the world has gone through countless changes. Everything has changed. It is no longer the same world as it once was, and yet the Tao Te Ching still holds a wide influence across the world. It continues to be known, read, and passed down. And this is exactly what Lao Tzu meant when he said, 善见者不拔, yes, that which is truly well built cannot be uprooted. That which is truly well built cannot be uprooted. So that which is truly well built cannot be uprooted. And this is also what is meant by building something that becomes a lasting legacy, something that does not collapse with time, something that does not depend on temporary conditions. And if you look at this carefully, this is actually a very practical guidance because in modern life, we often focus on short-term results. We want quick success, faster returns, visible achievements, but things that grow too quickly often do not last, and things they are built only for the self are also easily shaken. But when something is built with a deeper intention, with the inclusion of others, and with a sense of continuity, then it begins to take on a different quality. It becomes something that can outlive you. It becomes something that continues even when you are not there. And this is what gives life a different kind of meaning. So here, the idea of great vision is no longer just about ambition. It is about um, something closer to responsibility, something closer to contribution, and something closer to a quiet, steady commitment. So we we can see here how vision, virtue, and action are actually connected together, and how they shape not just a career but an entire life. Hi, our new friend here. Yes, I have back to China. Thank you for your time. Long time no see. So Xuemo once shared uh, something in an interview, and at that time he suggested that we can begin with a simple assumption. What if one day a war or an earthquake or any kind of disaster completely destroyed a city? Then we may ask, on this piece of land, what could still remain? What would not disappear, along with buildings and material wealth? In other words, aside from factories, products, and wealth, what has this city truly left for the world? Hi, if this kind of content resonates with you, you might enjoy staying with us for future sessions. So please subscribe our channel if you're new here. And for old friends here, please share our community with more of your friends. And Xuemo then raised a deep question. Is there something that cannot be destroyed by impermanence? Something that can be passed on to the next generation and continue to influence the world? If such a thing exists, then this city will not truly disappear. But if it does not exist, then once a destructive disaster happens, this city may vanish from the world forever. And people may still talk about it. They may remember how fast it once grew, how quickly it built skyscrapers. But that kind of story will soon be replaced by new achievements of science and technology. People will no longer be amazed by it. And in fact, many cities are like this. The people there often believe what they have built will last forever. Hi, hello, welcome to our channel. And good blessing from China. But when impermanence arrives, everything can collapse in an instant. And there have already been many cities that disappeared in this way, and there may be more in the future. So, from this perspective, whether it is an individual, a group, a city, or even a nation, there is a question that cannot be avoided. What kind of vision should we establish, and how do we bring it into reality? So, if we sit with the question for a moment, we may begin to see that this is not just about cities, it is also about our own lives. Because the same question applies to us. If everything we are holding on to today were to disappear one day, what would still remain? What is it that we are truly building? Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you. If you are agree with what I am saying, you can stay for a little longer and share our community with more of your friends and bring your friends along. Abide in true mind and enjoy the wisdom. So the question naturally continues, what is it that can remain and not disappear along with the collapse of material things? Love from China. Thank you. So, any idea of what is it that can remain and not disappear along with the collapse of material things? What is it? Think about it, and you can leave your message anytime. Yeah, people's good spirit. The spirit. Good answer. So Xuemo also have an answer, and he quoted a very classical line. It comes from the Analects, 论语。三军可夺帅也，匹夫不可夺志也。An army may lose its general, but an ordinary person cannot lose his will. Can you understand this? An army may lose its general, but an ordinary person cannot lose his will. 三军可夺帅也，匹夫不可夺志也. And what does this really mean? Hi. Hello. Good morning. Actually, it's 4:30 a.m. in China. Welcome. Yeah, if there is a will, there is a way. Yeah. This sentence is a must. Like, thank you. So it means that even the leader of a large army can be replaced at any moment. But a person's inner will cannot be taken away by anyone, right? So of course, the kind of will that cannot be taken away must be a great vision. Because if a person's vision is too small, no one even needs to take it away from him. He will lose it by himself. And why does this happen? Because when a person's dream is truly vast, his inner space also becomes vast. And when that happens, many desire driven temptations can no longer influence him. They cannot harm him. Instead, these same things may be transformed into motivation. They begin to support him in moving closer to his vision. But if a person's vision is small, if it is only a form of a desire, then it becomes very fragile. Good to see you again, our new old friends here. Thank you for coming by and spend your precious time in our space. So, if a person's vision is based on their own desire, it becomes very fragile, and he may easily be tempted by other things, and little by little, he may forget what he once thought was his direction. So, from this perspective, aggravation is actually the best kind of protection. Hi, hello. Hi, good to see. So glad to see our old friends here, um, coming by every day. Thank you for your support again. Wow, you feel the blessing uh, from the word of Xuemo. Yeah, it is truly a blessing. And when I'm sharing the wisdom of Xuemo, I think it is accumulating merit. Okay, so a great vision is the best kind of protection. It protects you not from the outside world, but from losing yourself. Hi, hello, good morning, or good evening, or good, um, whatever it is. So welcome. So happy to see our friends here, and thank you for being with me. And so we are talking about the great vision. So the greater your vision is, the stronger the protection becomes. And the stronger the protection is, the more you are able to withstand temptations and avoid unnecessary harm. So it is actually very practical because in daily life, we are constantly facing distractions, small desires, temporary comfort, external comparisons. Wow. All these distractions. Let's pay attention to this. Small desires, temporary comfort, external comparisons. So that is also why we are in Xuemo Academy, we are um, required to have a very simple life to, to keep simplicity. And if there is no clear and strong direction, it is very easy to be pulled away. But when there is a stable vision inside, you don't need to fight every temptation. They simply lose their power over you. From last year, the material world things like uh, focus on earning money or like travel and the shopping, the luxury things, the big houses, the luxury cars, and all these things seems just lose their power over me. Yeah. So this is a very different kind of living. Not it is not by force, not by resistance, but by clarity. And um, so when your life becomes simple and the material things loses attraction on you, then slowly the vision inside you will become clearer. This is what happens to me. So if great vision protects us, and how do we actually cultivate it? When I see it become clearer, because I think the vision, the the, the original aspiration is covered, was covered, and they become clearer and clearer because we need to cultivate it. And how do we keep it steady in the middle of a constantly changing world? And oh, Pontus is speaking about the masturbation. What is masturbation? Yeah, facts. Or let me check. What is masturbation? Can you explain? Thanks for your message. What? Uh, I I will continue my topic, okay? Okay. So Xuemo shared something from his own life. He said since he was very young, he already had a dream of saving the world. Because of that, he never cared too much about trivial things. Later, and he was writing One Man's West, the book he is explaining in his live session every day currently. And in One Man's West, he intentionally looked back at his life, and only then did he realize that he had gone through all kinds of experiences. For most people, many of these experiences would be being deeply hurtful. For example, he didn't socialize much with others. He didn't try to build close relationships. He didn't participate in entertainment activities. And because of that, he offended many people. And he also faced a lot of criticism. And as a result, his life filled with voices of judgment. It was also filled with setback and difficulties. And he said something very important. He said he never really cared about these things. No matter what he experienced, he only thought was to go back to his room as soon as possible to study well, to cultivate himself, and to write. He didn't have time. He didn't have time to be concerned with other people's emotions toward him. Even things like titles and salary didn't matter to him. Hi, Welcome, welcome all the new friends here. Stay with us for a moment, and the next part is also very important. And what comes next might change how you see this. Hello, to the new friends here. If you're on the way of self growth, you can subscribe our channel. This is a place. Um, this is a space about inner growth and self growth, inner peace. Yes. So once you start caring about those things, what the others people say about you or how they think of you, you have to start managing them. And Xuemo said he didn't want to spend his time on that. So from the outside, many people thought he was being treated unfairly, but he himself did not feel that way at all. Many things that others saw as a loss of dignity, he did not feel. That his dignity, he did not feel that his dignity was harmed. And then he concluded this is the influence of a high and distant vision, 高远的志向, high and distant vision. So this example of Xuemo makes something very clear. When a person has a true great vision, his attention naturally shifts. He's no longer focused on how others see him, what others say about him, or what he may gain or lose in the short term. Instead, his energy becomes concentrated on what truly matters. And because of that, many things that disturb the others no longer disturb him. And this is not suppression. It is not that he forces himself to ignore things. It is simply that those things become small in the presence of something much greater. And this brings us a very practical reflection. In our lives, the things that trouble us the most are often not that big. And this is what happened to me last night. When I think back of what happened last night, actually the thing troubled me is not that big. If I focus on my big vision, then it doesn't matter. Whatever, although it causes something not good. So if we feel big, the things will feel big because our perspective is small. But when the vision becomes larger, the same situation begin to feel different. So, hi to the new friends here. Thank you for coming by. It's always happy to see people from different of the world gathering here. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe to our channel. Thank you. So when the vision becomes larger, the same situation begin to feel different. So let's move into another question. How do we expand our vision so that life becomes lighter, more focused, and more stable? And Xuemo once used a very vivid metaphor to describe vision. He said that vision is like a pair of strong wings. It carries him across mountains and rivers, even across deserts and oceans. And when he arrived where he is today and looked back, he realized something very clear. Those who once criticized him, those who tried to attack him, had already been left far behind. And those who once treated him as an opponent, those who tried to block him, now can only look at him from a distance. I hope I can also reach this standard. Hi, thank you for your message. Xuemo mindology is not about religion. Xuemo's mindology is not about religion. He may learn a lot from different culture and religions all over the world, but Xuemo mindology is not about religion. Yes, Xuemo's mindology is more human understanding, human, yes, about the human. How do I express that? Universal concerns. It is more about universal concerns. Yes, not limited by religion. We may gain nourishment from that, but it is not. So Xuemo said something very simple yet very powerful. He said he feels grateful that he has had a great dream, and this dream first benefited himself and then extend to the people he wanted to help. Also, he made a very sharp comparison. He said if he did not have this dream, he would be like an ant in the mud or a frog at the bottom of a well, constantly comparing with others, arguing, competing, and struggling over small things. And after decades pass, he would still be the same, just a little older and a little closer to the end of life. So let's pause here. The contrast is actually very real because many people's lives are not lacking effort, but they are caught in small circles of comparison and emotion. And without a larger direction, it is very difficult to step out of it. So he then brought the point back again. He said that to truly understand that the Chinese saying, from ancient Chinese, it says, 三军可夺帅也，匹夫不可夺之也. An army may lose its general, but a person cannot lose his will. Can anyone write this and send a message? The Chinese saying, an army may lose its general, but a person cannot lose his will. So many new friends. I see so many new friends here. I really appreciate you spending this time here. It means a lot. And you can subscribe to our channel. So time is most valuable thing. So I truly value your presence here. So an army may lose its general, and a person cannot lose his will. And to set for yourself a vast and unshakable vision is extremely important because such a vision will protect your upward moving heart. It prevents you from being swallowed by the trivialities of life. And when that happens, you will not become a small and limited person. So it is also a very deep remind for me, myself, do not be swallowed by the trivial, trivial, triv, um, trivialities of life. Instead, you will grow into a person of integrity and depth. So this is not just about becoming better in the moral sense. It is about freedom. Ah, okay. Hi, I see some familiar names here. Welcome back. And I'm a little curious who have spent time a little time here. I'm curious, how do you see this about the big vision? Oh, I see this familiar names here. So how do you see this? So freedom from comparison, freedom from unnecessary conflict, and freedom from being controlled by small desires. And from here, we can move into something even more practical. A vision is like wings, just as the metaphor by Xuemo. The vision is like wings. Then how do we grow those wings? How do we strengthen them so that they can truly carry us forward instead of remaining just an idea? Thank you for your message and the reflections. And Xuemo also offered a very direct remind. He says, from the very beginning, you must firmly believe what kind of person you can become. And in the end, you will indeed become that person. There is no need to have even the slightest doubt. And Mr. Jim also gave a simple but powerful example. If someone truly wants to become an elephant and does not want to remain a mouse and can constantly hold this belief and put it into practice, then in the end, the person will become the elephant, not the mouse. And this is not just about size, it is about direction, about persistence, and it is about alignment between belief and action. Oh, it reminds you the book Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart. Yes, a beautiful title and a book with insight, deep insight. Yes, our friend is talking about the book Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart by Xuemo. It, it is also very related to what we are talking today. Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart. And this book is available on Amazon. The topic is Master Your Mind, Master Your Destiny. Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart is a wisdom guide that focuses on the mind and the nature of the mind, teaching modern individuals how to transform from slaves of the external world into masters of their own minds. Xuemo regards cultivating spiritual autonomy as the most important practice in life and distills the traditional Mahamudra yoga into a form of mindful yoga that is easily understood by contemporary readers. So, Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart by Xuemo. It is available on Amazon and also available on our global shop.xuemo.com. You can search for Xuemo, Xuemo. Yes, Xuemo. Thank you. Hi. So, okay, that is why you recognize what you are talking. Thank you. Yeah, good saying. Thank you for your message. Thank you for your reflection on our old friend. That's so nice. Yeah, Scott says, I think if you are a frog in a well, the well is there for a reason. And wow, the well is there for a reason. Exactly. And the frog has a good chance of being lifted up, but it would have to be patient. Exactly. Hi, hello. Yeah, you haven't read the book, then you can try. This is available on Amazon, whether either in a paper edition or Kindle edition. And the frog got to swim. People got to drink. Uh, okay, thank you for sharing your thoughts in the chat, and I'd love to hear your perspectives. Thank you. So, Xuemo will continue as long as your starting point is to benefit others and to contribute to the world, and you keep refining your character and correcting your behavior, which is the most important thing in our team, to refine your character and correcting your behavior. It is much more important than doing the meditation alone yourself. This is much more important than chanting the sutras, than doing the meditations. So to refine your character and correct your behavior, and then things will naturally begin to work out, because something interesting happens when you correcting your behavior. People around you will begin to support you, even those you have never met and never expected help from, may also step in and offer their help. And why does this happen? Because what you are doing moves them, and deep down, they genuinely hope that you succeed. And this idea is actually very different from how we usually think about success, right? We often think that success comes from competition, from resources, from strategy. But actually, there is another layer. It suggests that when your intention is clear and your direction is aligned with something bigger or larger, support begins to appear, even some invisible energy, maybe in ways you cannot predict. And this does not mean everything becomes easy, but it does mean you are no longer walking alone. And from here, we can start something very practical. Hi, please subscribe to our channel if you are new here. So, a very practical question: how do we actually hold this kind of belief? How do we keep it steady when reality does not immediately support it? 许梦 once shared that although he has many readers, actually has a large amount of readers already in China. And in his live session, every he has been doing the live stream every morning for maybe about 6 years, and every morning there are thousands of readers, old readers. Not talking about the new ones coming in the live stream, but thousands of readers and are following him and listening to the live stream. Yeah, have Will, but not a general named Will. So Xuemo shared that he rarely meets the readers um, because he simply does not have the time. But a lot of readers still voluntarily promote his books at book fairs, and some even travel thousands of miles to the exhibition locations just to help to promote his book. And the readers also they pay for the exhibit the booth they themselves. And the reason is simple. They genuinely hope that he can become more successful. And why do they hope that? Because his books have truly benefited them, and they feel these books deserve to be read by more people. And if they do not do their best to help promote them, they feel they are letting both the author and the books down. And some even take spreading these books as part of the meaning of their own lives, feeling that without doing this, their life will be incomplete. Before I joined the Xuemo team, I was actually just an ordinary reader like many others. I often participated in different book fairs organized by readers themselves, where people sat there, paid their own expenses, and volunteered their time. And everyone was deeply committed, coming from different cities, sometimes traveling a very long distance just to be there. And all of that effort was simply to let more people know about these books. And Xuemo, every time he meets these readers, he wants to give them the very best he has because otherwise he feels that he has let them down. And we also believe that these readers will eventually succeed because they have already given the world a reason to support them. So, for anyone who wants to succeed, the real question is whether you have given the world a reason to help you. If the answer is yes, then success becomes possible. But if the answer is no, then success becomes very difficult. So this is not about asking the world for help, but about becoming someone worth supporting. Yes, thank you for your kind message. Yes, that's good. Xuemo deserves all the recognition. Yeah. Hi, how's it going? Good. Hello, welcome to our Xuemo's community. And you can subscribe our channel if you are new here. Oh, the question is, how do I how do you treat a woman to make her my queen? I think it's better to focus on yourself and you know read more good books and you gradually you will become attractive and it is a result that the, the girls come to you, but not something you can chase. Thank you for your subscription. Thank you. So read more good books, then you become attractive. There is a saying: you if you are a flower, then the butterfly comes to you. You don't chase for them, right? So read more of good books like Xuemo's works. This is the new and latest published one, Reclaim the Throne of Your Life, uh, of Your Heart. Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart by Mr. Xuemo. Then, if you are such a person who can reclaim the throne of your heart, you will become attractive to the girls. Okay, this is okay, very interesting, but it is also real, right? So read Xuemo's works. Um, they are available on Amazon. So you can search for Xuemo for his work. It is also real. Yeah, become like Xuemo and thank you for your message. Become like Xuemo and a lot of women will like you. Yes, become the master in any field. I think a lot of people will like you. Yes. Thank you. You took a screenshot. Okay. Reclaim the throne of your heart. Take the screenshot. Let me know if you finished. Let me know if you're done. Hello. Welcome. If you're new here, you can stay for a while. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. The Little Yellow Book, Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart by Xuemo. Oh, what is this book? The question is, so let me briefly introduce this book. This book is one of the spiritual yoga series. It's about master your mind and master your destiny. So this book is a wisdom guide that focuses on the mind and the nature of the mind. Yes, book of wisdom. Right, exactly. And teaching modern individuals how to transform from slaves of the external world into masters of their own minds. And this book transfers the traditional wisdom into accessible and everyday language, and you also make the methods into practical ways that can be used in your daily life. So it is available on Amazon. That's cool, yeah. And what we are talking about, the topic today is the big vision, the great aspiration. And this will also relate to this book, Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart. So Xuemo reminds us that only those who can truly preserve and sustain something must have vision and a sense of responsibility. If a person starts a career only for personal desire, then even if he succeeds, it is usually very difficult for him to sustain it. even if he cannot spend all the wealth in his lifetime, by the second or third generation, if there is still no greater vision and only the desire to make money, eventually everything will be consumed. Sure. Okay, thank you for my question. Xuemo is not only a storyteller or novelist, but also someone who can give our. He's like a life guider for me. A lot of readers say that Xuemo's book can illuminate their inner light, and this is true. It is also happened to me, and I also find all my I get all my existential answers and inner strength from Xuemo's works. Hi, I see many new friends here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your precious time, and you can stay for a while. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our page. Yes, vision for greater good, non-selfish. Exactly. So the real issue is not whether you can create something, or but whether what you create can last. And what determines that is not resources but direction. And that is why Xuemo says a person must have a great vision and can not live only for making money for oneself. You also cannot limit your purpose to making money only for your family or your clan. You cannot even limit it to specific place or a single country. Instead, the direction should be for times and for the world. It is about building something that contributes to culture and transmitting something positive that can be practiced in real life. So this is also the book about it. It is about the culture and the traditional wisdom that and through the books, Xuemo is transmitting something inspiring and positive that can be practiced in real life. I think it is not about how good or how great the method, the theory is, but how it can be practiced in real life. The practice in real life matters to your whole destiny. Otherwise, it can only stay in your mind, your thinking, but it does not work on you. Let me also many message here. Thank you for your reflection and thank you for your message and thank you for your time being here. So, and through this kind of culture and belief to benefit both the era and the world. So this is actually a very different way of thinking about career. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your support, Scott. Thank you. What is the best part of this book that I like the most? I think the book's name tells a lot. Actually, in China, in Chinese edition, the name is can be directly translated into "Let your heart belong yourself." But I think this translation is a much better version that reclaim the throne of your heart. And this is the best part of this book. Bring to me. Reclaim the throne of my heart. Yes. Because let me take a quote from another book, but it also reflects how does it? Let me see if I can find it or not. Because from Xuemo's culture, you can actually abide in your true mind and not influenced by the external world. Okay, wait for a moment. I just, I think I just, okay, here it is. What is the best part? So, from Xuemo's book, because of Xuemo's culture and we practice these in everyday life and we do the yoga meditation every day and at the same time we refine our character and reshape um, our behavior in our daily life under the teaching of Mr. Xuemo. And then gradually we can stay in a kind of life status that always feel happy, calmness, stillness, and feel blessing every moment of our life. Maybe that is something related to like abiding your true mind. And in this state, you can then you can feel you can have a different life status that there are this is quote from the world is a reflection of the mind also by Xuemo and also it reflects what I am what my life status now. The world is a reflection of the mind by Xuemo. It is also available on Amazon. Let me quote. So in this kind of life status, there are no problems, only phenomena that arise and cease. There is no suffering, only sensations that will come and go. There are no attachments, only experiences and nourishment. Yes. Hi to the new friends here. If you just joined, we are exploring something quite fundamental about life and character and vision. If this resonates with you, you might enjoy staying with us for future conversations. So subscribe to our channel. Thank you for your support. Hi, there's a friend from America. Welcome. Xuemo is currently now in the United States. Why he's there? Because he won another international award of his work. Oh, you have already read Xuemo's work? Share with us which book and what impressed you of the book. Okay, let's continue our topic. Many people think building a career means building something for themselves. But here it is about building something that can go beyond oneself. And in the end, Xuemo also concludes that a significantly great vision combined with steady effort and persistent commitment can allow an ordinary person to transcend himself and through that to contribute his own strength to the country and to the world. So if we bring this back to ourselves, the question becomes very simple. Are we building something only for ourselves or something that can outlast us? Are we contributing Hi, I am Chinese. Hi, Jennifer. Thank you for your time here. And also, we can question ourselves, what is the connection between what I do and the world? Is it only about exchange, or is it also about contribution? We can question ourselves. So you can read Xuemo's work first, and then we talk about what is in the book. So you know, talking about vision, and there is also the topic of finding personal mission. And for me, personally, finding the personal vision did not start from thinking, but from encountering something that truly answered my question. And before reading Xuemo's books, like many people, I had many existential questions about life, questions about meaning, about direction, and about what all of this is really for. And when I encountered Xuemo's books, something very different happens. It was not just about that I understood something intellectually, but I felt that many of those deep questions were actually answered, including the question of the meaning of life. Sorry, please. I need to charge the phone. And after that moment, I felt something very simple but very strong. At encountering Xuemo's works, I felt at ease. And it was as if I had finally found something that I could stand on. And something else began to change slowly. Mm, and my sense of mission, the vision, started to awaken little by little. And what can I do? It felt like a distant dream that has always been there and was only now becoming clear. So I also began to understand what my own mission might be. For me, it is to become a carrier and a vessel of culture, more specifically, to become a carrier of Xuemo's teaching, Xuemo's mindology. Because I truly feel that what he is sharing has the through the all the formats of books has the potential to elevate human awareness, and not only awareness but also the level of inner civilization. So it helps Xuemo's books helps people become more stable, more clear, and more aligned with themselves. And when enough individuals change in this way, the whole level of human civilization naturally begins to rise. So for me, this is not just about reading or sharing books or promoting books. It becomes something that I am willing to live through. So actually, mission is something not something you force yourself to define. It is something that becomes clear through experience, understanding, and alignment. So, uh, this is what I want to share today, the great vision. So, a person's life is not defined by how much they gain, but by what they are able to hold and sustain over time. If you would, what you hold is only material, then it will eventually change and disappear. And what if you hold is only desire, then it will continue to shift and never bring stability. But if what you hold is something that benefits others and aligns with a greater direction, then it begins to take on a different quality. And that kind of direction and vision does not rely on circumstances and does not collapse with change. It becomes something that can remain even when everything else shifts. And this is what meant by the saying from 道德经"善见者不拔", building something that cannot be uprooted. Let's repeat again. Building something that cannot be uprooted. So build something. So thank you again for being here today. And I look forward to continuing this journey with you in the next session. Thank you. Thank you for your time.